Most cruisers think day one is about finding the buffet, unpacking, and grabbing a drink by the pool. That mindset is exactly why they spend the entire week paying more, waiting longer, and missing out on things they didn't even know existed. Because here's the truth, nobody tells you. Day one is the only day the ship works for you. By dinner on the second night, that window has slammed shut, and every advantage on this list is gone for the rest of the voyage. We're going through 20 moves smart cruisers always make on day one in the exact order they should be done. Walk straight to the spa, not the buffet. The spa. Daily thermal suite access runs around $40 per day. A full voyage pass on day one, around $99. Across a 7-night cruise, that's a $180 difference for the exact same access. Most people stumble onto the thermal suite on day 3 and pay full daily rate every time after that. Don't be them. Even if you pre-booked your drinks package, check the price again on day 1. Cruise lines run quiet embarkation specials that sometimes beat the pre-cruise rate. Open the app or stop by the bar within the first hour. If the onboard price is lower, ask to upgrade. They'll do it. The future cruise consultant on day 1 has empty chairs and full inventory. By day 5, they're slammed and the deals are picked clean. Booking a future cruise on day 1 consistently gets you better cabin categories and bigger onboard credit. Same cruise, same ship, completely different package, purely based on when you walk in. Specialty restaurants discount day 1 dinner reservations by 20 to 30% to fill empty tables. Most cruisers pay full price on day 3 for the exact same food. Walk up to any specialty restaurant host and ask, "Are you running an embarkation night rate tonight?" Most will confirm it without hesitation. The shortest guest services line of the entire cruise exists for the first 90 minutes after boarding. Wrong cabin category. Billing question. Dietary note. Every single one of those takes 2 minutes right now. Try the same fix at 9 p.m. and you're standing in a 45-minute queue. Your fixed dining assignment is not permanent, but only on day 1. If you got placed at a 6-top with strangers and you booked for 2, fix it now. Walk into the main dining room before dinner and speak directly to the maitre. Day 1 is the only day they have flexibility. By day 2, you're competing with every other unhappy guest on the ship. Comedy clubs, headline shows, adult-only performances, they're free, but reservations sell out by dinner on day 1. Open the cruise app the moment you board and book every show you want before lunch. Wait until dinner and you'll be watching from the overflow room for the rest of the week. Got any loyalty status? Even tier 1? The loyalty ambassador desk is your private service counter and it's empty on day 1. Upgrade offers, complimentary amenities, and priority booking access get distributed first come, first served. Visit within the first hour. Even basic status can pull free perks you'd otherwise pay for. Your steward has specific service windows. Most guests come back to an unmade bed at 3 p.m. because nobody told them when service happens. Ask 2 simple questions on day 1. What time do you usually do morning service? And what time for evening turndown? Build your day around those answers. Your room will always be fresh when you walk back in. Your in-cabin phone is your emergency lifeline when the app and Wi-Fi fail. 80% of guests never test it. They discover it's broken at 2 a.m. when they need it most. Pick up the phone on day 1. Call guest services. Confirms it works and starts a relationship with the desk you'll likely need later. This is the one that changes everything. Stewards who get a written preference list deliver next-level service. Verbal-only guests get standard service. Grab the cabin notepad. Write 3 things: pillow type, ice schedule, turn down time. Hand it to your steward directly. They will not forget a written request. For 7 nights, your cabin runs perfectly. Digital muster is convenient. Muscle memory in a real emergency is not built on a phone screen. Pull the emergency card from the back of your cabin door. Walk the physical route once before dinner. 4 minutes. That's it. In a real 3 a.m. alarm with a dead phone, you'll thank yourself. Casino hosts on day 1 are actively building player relationships. Free play and food comps are sitting on the table. Walk up to the host desk and introduce yourself. Don't gamble first. Don't earn it. Just introduce yourself. You'll likely walk away with a free play offer before spending a single dollar. Most cabin stewards and waitstaff speak Filipino as a first language. Every single guest speaks English to them. Nobody says hello in their language. Learn 3 words. Salamat, thank you. Kumusta? How are you? Maganda, beautiful, used as a compliment. Use them on day 1. Watch what happens. Guests who treat crew as people get extraordinary service for 7 straight nights. Photo packages run on a sliding scale. Day 1 is the lowest the price will ever be. By day 4, the same package costs 50% more. Visit the photography desk on day 1 and ask for the full voyage digital package price. Lock it in if you want it. Don't wait until you've seen photos to decide. Ships with tender ports issue priority tender tickets, but only to guests who know to ask. Most guests show up on tender day, assuming first come, first served, and waste 90 minutes of an already short port day. Ask guest services on day 1 about tender ports in your itinerary. There's often a quiet sign-up sheet that closes by day 2. Your SeaPass has no spending limit by default. Neither does anyone else on your booking. Most cruisers discover this on the final night when arcade charges, spa bills, and bar tabs they didn't approve all show up at once. Disputing those after the cruise is exponentially harder. Call guest services on day 1. Request a spending cap. 3 minutes. Protected for the entire voyage. The physical daily planner has a section printed in small type on the back. Limited time offers. Unadvertised flash sales on excursions, spa treatments, and shop merchandise. Same excursion listed at $89 online, $59 on the back page. Day 1 only. Expires at midnight. Flip the planner. Circle the offers. Decide by dinner. Sail away is the most photographed moment of the cruise. Most people get a terrible view because everyone crowds the main pool deck 5 minutes before departure. While you're exploring the ship earlier in the day, identify one elevated forward-facing spot, usually an observation lounge or sky deck. Arrive 20 minutes early. That moment belongs to you. This is the one that protects you from charges that don't even exist yet. Your final bill is never wrong, but it looks wrong to anyone who didn't document the starting point. After you've settled into your cabin, pull up your onboard account in the app. Screenshot the zero balance. Timestamped, dated, saved. If a $12 charge from day 1 mysteriously appears on the final night, buried under 6 days of activity, you've got proof. You win that dispute. Every time.
Before you touch a single soda or water bottle, take out your phone and take a clear, time-stamped photo of the minibar. Cruise lines often use automated sensors or manual checks that are prone to error. If a phantom charge for a $10 Snickers bar shows up on your final bill, that photo is your only get-out-of-jail-free card at guest services. The TV remote is statistically the filthiest object in any cabin. Even the best cabin stewards rarely have time to sanitize between every button. Don't just wipe it down. Bring a clear Ziploc sandwich bag from home and slide the remote inside. You can still use the buttons perfectly, but you aren't touching a week's worth of someone else's germs. We aren't just looking for clean sheets. Pull the linens back at the very corner of the mattress and inspect the piping or the seams of the mattress itself. You are looking for tiny dark spots or pepper flakes. This is the only way to spot a bed bug infestation before it's too late. If you find something, do not unpack. Call the front desk immediately and stay in the hallway. So, never put your passport or jewelry in the safe and just slam it shut immediately. First, you should check that the previous guest didn't leave anything behind, Then, set your code and, test it at least twice while the safe door is still open. You really want to make sure the electronic lock is catching and releasing smoothly before you lock your life away inside. Head to the bathroom and turn on the shower and the sink to full blast. You're checking for 2 things here: instant hot water and proper drainage. On a ship with 2,000 cabins, plumbing issues are honestly pretty common. If your drain is sluggish, you definitely want maintenance in there while you're at the Welcome Aboard buffet, not at 11 p.m. when you're exhausted and just want to sleep. Most people don't realize that nearly every wall on a cruise ship is made of heavy-duty metal. Smart cruisers, Well, they bring high-strength magnetic hooks and test their placement the second they walk in. By moving your daily planners, hats, shore excursion tickets, and lanyards onto the walls, you instantly double your usable counter space and keep the room from feeling cluttered. You know, many modern ships use these energy-saving sensors that throttle the AC when they don't detect motion. That means you might wake up in a sweat or, return to a stifling room. The pros, though, they know how to ping the system. Sometimes it's as simple as placing a business card in the power slot. But on newer ships, there's often a specific button sequence on the thermostat to keep it running at your desired temperature 24/7. Don't let your suitcases eat up your closet space. Almost every cruise ship bed is designed with enough clearance to slide large suitcases underneath. Just slide them in with the openings facing outward so you can use them as extra drawers for things like dirty laundry or those bulky shoes you won't need until the end of the trip. Privacy is about more than just closing the curtains. Take a quick look at the ceiling sprinkler heads and smoke detectors. While it's extremely rare, hidden cameras are a concern in the modern era. You're looking for any wires, lenses, or small holes that look out of place. A pro cruiser knows that true peace of mind starts with a secure perimeter. Cruise ship hallways can be, honestly, incredibly noisy at 2 in the morning. To test your cabin's soundproofing, have your travel partner stand out in the hallway and just speak at a normal volume while you're inside. If you can hear every word, try using one of those magnetic hooks to hang a heavy towel or even a dedicated sound-dampening curtain right over the door crack. That way, you can make sure you get a silent night's sleep. Standard cabins usually come with, well, exactly enough hangers for a 3-day trip, even if you're booked for 10. Don't wait until you're halfway through unpacking to realize you're short. Locate your cabin steward right away. They're usually in the hallway during embarkation, and ask for an extra dozen hangers before, the other smart cruisers beat you to it. Don't assume the internet works the same everywhere in the room. Ship cabins are basically metal boxes, which can really mess with signal strength. Test your connection at the desk, on the bed, and out on the balcony. If you find a sweet spot, that's where you'll want to set up your charging station or do your browsing just to avoid that mid-upload frustration. Cruise lines have pretty strict rules against surge protectors because of fire risks on a ship's unique electrical grid. So plug in your cruise-approved non-surge power strip immediately. This way, all your devices, from CPAPs to tablets, have a dedicated spot. If you wait until later and realize your strip was confiscated at security, you'll be fighting for the 1 or 2 outlets available in the entire room. Digital muster drills are, really convenient, but they don't teach you muscle memory. After you watch the video on the app, physically walk the route from your cabin to your assigned muster station. Make sure to note any narrow hallways or stairs along the way. In a real emergency, knowing the path without looking at your phone is honestly the mark of a true pro. While cruise lines are pushing everyone toward their apps, technology fails. Ask your cabin steward for a printed copy of the daily planner immediately. Having a physical copy means you can plan your day without worrying about phone battery or spotty Wi-Fi, and it serves as a reliable backup when the app inevitably glitches during peak times. Cruise cabins get incredibly dark at night, especially inside rooms. Instead of fumbling for blinding overhead light and waking up your partner, plug in a small motion sensor nightlight in the bathroom or near the floor. It provides just enough light to navigate safely at 3 o'clock in the morning without ruining your sleep mode. Your cabin steward is the most important person on the ship for the next week. Don't wait until day 3 to meet them. Find them in the hallway during embarkation, introduce yourself by name, and give them a small handshake tip right away. State your specific needs clearly. Whether it's extra ice every evening, 2 sets of towels, or a specific time you'll be out of the room. Setting this relationship early ensures you get pro-level service while everyone else is still waiting in line. Don't settle for the standard pancake pillows if you have back or neck issues. Cruise ships actually carry a variety of pillow types, from firm foam to soft down, but they have a limited supply. So request your preferred type from your steward in those first 10 minutes. If you wait until after the first night of bad sleep, well, the good pillows will already be in other smart cruisers' cabins. If you have a balcony, check the seal immediately. Close the door and listen closely. If you hear a faint whistling sound, The rubber gasket is likely worn or the latch is misaligned. At sea, that tiny whistle becomes a high-pitched scream that will keep you awake all night. Also, make sure the child safety lock at the top is functional, so the door doesn't slide open during heavy swells. Cruise ship cabin doors are incredibly heavy and are designed to close automatically, but they often don't latch fully on their own. Get into the habit now. Every time you leave the room, don't just let it swing shut. Pull the handle until you hear and feel a solid click. Many thefts on cruise ships aren't break-ins. They're simply people walking into rooms where the door didn't quite catch. Most people head straight to the buffet after boarding. It's familiar, fast, and open. But I've learned that skipping it on day one is one of the smartest moves I can make. The buffet is always the busiest spot on embarkation day. Crowded lines, packed tables, and not the most relaxing welcome aboard meal. Instead, I head to the main dining room, or a specialty restaurant if it's open. It's quieter, calmer, and the service is better. And while I'm enjoying lunch, I get a few critical things done. If I'm on fixed dining, I check my table, and if I don't like it, I ask the maitre d' to change it early, while options are still open. I also take this chance to discuss dietary needs if needed. Gluten-free, vegan, allergies, you name it. And here's a bonus. While others are fighting for buffet seating, I'm already planning my cruise around what I need, not what's left. It's easy to get excited and just start wandering the ship. But smart cruisers? They head straight to their cabin. Why? Because this is your chance to fix any issues before the rush hits. I check everything right away. Is the room location okay? Is the balcony view obstructed? Are the beds set up correctly? Does the air conditioning work? I test the lights, the safe, the outlets, even the pillows. If something's wrong, I flag it to the cabin steward immediately. They'll be much more responsive before they're swamped with every other guest on the ship. If there's a real problem, like noise, layout, or a maintenance issue, I go to guest services early, before the line starts snaking through the atrium. And yes, I lock up my valuables in the safe, then take quick photos of the cabin while it's still clean. That way, I start my cruise organized, not already behind. Embarkation day can feel chaotic, unless you've already done your homework. That's why I pre-book everything I can before I board. I'm talking drinks packages, Wi-Fi, spa treatments, excursions, specialty dining, the works. Why? Because booking early usually means lower prices and better availability. Plus, it frees up my first day on the ship. While others are waiting in lines to reserve dinner or scramble for internet, I'm already enjoying my vacation. And when I do need to make changes, it's easier to tweak a plan than build one from scratch. Smart cruisers don't waste day one on logistics. They get it all sorted before the ship leaves port. Embarkation day can get rocky fast if your bags don't show up when you expect them. That's why I always pack a carry-on bag with the essentials I can't afford to lose. I ask myself, if my main luggage vanished, what would I absolutely need to get through the day? Or even the entire cruise? For me, that's medication, passport, credit cards, cash, phone, chargers, camera gear, and that's about it. If I had to, I could buy the rest on board or in port. But without those items, I'm in serious trouble. And here's the second part of this rule. Never pack anything you're not allowed to bring. Sounds obvious, but I've seen people get pulled aside for things like extension cords, full-size irons, or too much alcohol. Worse, some even try to sneak on drones, only to end up wasting time at security. Avoiding these items keeps your bags out of trouble, and you out of the embarkation day penalty box. Here's something most people don't realize. Embarkation night is the best time to book a specialty restaurant. Why? Well, because it's often cheaper and definitely quieter. While everyone else crowds into the buffet or main dining room, I'm enjoying a relaxed, high-quality meal without the chaos. No wait times, no noise, just great food and attentive service. Some cruise lines even offer discounts on specialty dining for night one to encourage early bookings. It also gives me the perfect chance to kick off my trip with something memorable, instead of waiting until later in the cruise. And if I decide I want to try another restaurant later on, no problem. The staff is available and flexible on day one. Smart cruisers skip the scramble and start with the steakhouse. Right after lunch, before I even think about exploring, I switch my phone to airplane mode. Why? Because your phone might silently connect to the ship's satellite network, and that means massive roaming charges. I've heard horror stories of people racking up hundreds in fees just by leaving their phone on. Once airplane mode is on, I set the time zone manually to match the ship's time. Why not auto-update? Because your phone might switch to local port time instead of ship time, and that can mess with your schedule in a big way. If you're not on ship time, you could easily miss events, or worse, miss the ship when it departs. So now, airplane mode goes on early, time zone gets set manually, and I avoid both the panic and the bill. The smartest thing I do before embarkation day, I always arrive at least one day early, especially for long-haul cruises. It's not glamorous, it's not exciting, but it's the single best insurance policy you can give your trip. On my Panama Canal cruise with Oceania, a storm swept across Europe and canceled my flight just hours before takeoff. If I had planned to arrive the same day as the cruise, I would have missed the ship, but because I built in that buffer day, I had time to find another flight, and still arrived early. Booking a hotel for the night before might feel like an extra expense, but trust me, it's cheaper than missing the cruise altogether. Smart cruisers never cut it close. I thought I was prepared. I had every single document I needed, check-in QR code, all saved on my phone. But then I got to the cruise terminal, and the Wi-Fi didn't work. Suddenly, I couldn't pull up anything. That moment taught me a hard lesson. Always have offline access to your documents. Now, before I travel, I do two things. First, I print paper copies of everything, just in case. Second, I create a folder on my phone with all my cruise docs saved for offline use. Dropbox, Google Drive, even the Files app, whatever works for you. Just make sure you can open everything without needing a signal, because nothing kills excitement faster than fumbling with a dead screen at check-in. If you're cruising with kids, there's one thing you absolutely need to do on embarkation day. Register them for the Kids Club. Don't wait until the second day. Don't assume it's automatic. Go early, right after lunch if possible, because spots fill up fast, especially for younger age groups. It's quick, it's easy, and it gives your kids a chance to get familiar with the space before it gets crowded. And if you're planning to book babysitting or nighttime programs, do it now, while the schedule is wide open. Waiting even a few hours can mean fully booked sessions and disappointed little cruisers. A smooth first day for your kids? That's a smoother cruise for everyone. After I've settled in, handled dining, and checked off my must-dos, now it's finally time to explore. But I don't just wander aimlessly. I explore the ship with a plan. Why? Because I've been on cruises where I didn't discover the best lounges or quiet spots until day 5. And by then, it's too late. I use the ship map in my cruise card holder, the app, or join a guided tour if one's offered. I always look for tucked-away spaces, adult-only decks, cozy observation lounges, spa areas, or shaded outdoor seating. And if the ship has premium areas like the retreat or sanctuary. Embarkation day is your one chance to walk through and see if it's worth the upgrade. After today, access is restricted. Plus, the ship's still quiet, so it's the perfect time to snap some great photos before it gets crowded. Smart cruisers explore early, so they cruise better all week long. After all the unpacking, planning, booking, and exploring, there's one thing I never skip on embarkation day: the sail-away party. It's more than music and drinks. It's the official start of your cruise. The moment the ship pulls away and the horn sounds, it all sinks in. You're finally off. No more to-do lists, just ocean and adventure ahead. It's also where I get a first look at the entertainment team, spot familiar faces, and sometimes meet people who'll become cruise friends for life. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the day, this is where it melts away. Grab a drink, find a rail with a view, and take in the moment. It's what all that planning was for, and it's absolutely worth it.